welcome to my third video on PED and total revenue. Before we start considering the price elasticity of demand, let me put that down over here. Yes, PED and total revenue, and how firms use them to calculate their TR. Not calculate, but to improve their total revenue. To understand this, first thing is we need to understand what price is.
Price.
Yeah, what is price to
Okay.
you?
So price is when is an amount of money that you have to pay for a certain item or service.
Okay. So it's the amount of money a supplier is willing to have to pass his ownership rights to a consumer for an economic good. In other words, the amount of money the customer or the consumer has to pay to the supplier to possess the ownership right to be able to consume that economic good. Total revenue?
Is the amount of money that a business makes. Well, not doesn't make, but kind of makes by selling a product. It's not a profit.
Yeah.
It's
So
how much money goes into the business.
yeah, it's the total income a firm will make by selling all its goods. To calculate total revenue or TR, TR equals average selling price
Per unit.
ASP
Is it per unit?
times, yeah, average selling price itself means it's the per unit, isn't it? Calculate all of them, total revenue, and divided by the number of units you've sold, so you get the average selling price. So if I have 5 chocolates, I sold, let's say, one for £10, the other one for £8, the other one for £6, the other one for 4, and then let's say, for example, 2. So that's £30 I've got. So 30 divided by 5, £6.
Okay.
Okay. So average selling price times quantity sold or number of units of goods sold. That's how we calculate total revenue. What is PED, price elasticity of demand?
So it's is how elastic the price of a product or service is.
Okay, so it measures the responsiveness of quantity demanded to the change in its price. So by how much percentage will the quantity demanded change to the percentage change in price? That's what it does. It measures that. If in a broader sense, what would a relatively price elastic demand curve mean to you in terms of quantity demanded and price?
So the less elasticity.
It's a price elastic. It's not inelastic. So the percentage change in quantity demanded,
it won't change the.
will it be higher or less as compared to the percentage change in price?
Higher?
Well done. Yes. So PED is greater than 1 in this case. So the percentage change in quantity demanded of goods will be greater than the okay, and relatively price inelastic demand, PED, less than 1. Yeah.
Yeah.
And what would that mean?
It would mean no matter the
In terms of percentage change in quantity demanded.
So the percentage of change would be lower.
Well done.
So if you put a chocolate bar up £5 or so, it would cost like less people would buy it because it's not really needed.
No,
Yeah.
not less people. You're saying the fall in number of people not buying it because the price has gone up is going to be smaller as compared to the elastic curve.
Yeah. So like less people would buy it. Wouldn't they?
No, the fall is going to be less. If less people would buy, that means you're saying the fall is going to be higher. That means it's an elastic demand curve. Let's say, for example, cigarette smoking. If the price of cigarettes goes up, what happens to the demand for smoke or cigarettes? Will it fall, or will it fall by a less than percentage as compared to price?
It depends on the consumer. I mean, like if they're addicted, but if they're not, then they wouldn't buy it.
But that's what you're talking about, inelastic, isn't it? So smoking is inelastic, cigarette consumption is inelastic. So what that means is if the percentage change in price is higher to the percentage change in price in quantity demanded, and PED is going to be less than 1. Why? Because the percentage change in quantity demanded is less, let's say 2, over percentage change in price, let's say 5. So 2 divided by 5 is 0.4. Am I making sense?
Yeah, so like inelastic, when the price is inelastic, price doesn't really matter. Yeah, when it is elastic, price does.
Yeah, but there are other factors as well, which we will cover in our 4th video. The percentage change in quantity demanded is less than the percentage change in price. And you're right to say in smoking, people might be addicted. That's why they're not.
But over time, wouldn't it be elastic? Because if it's more, then less people want to start smoking.
There is, we'll come to the time. As I said to you, time. There are other factors that needs to be considered. As I said, we'll leave that for now. We'll just stick to more theoretical, and then we'll look at what other factors can actually change these principles, these laws, the influence. Okay?
Okay.
Right. To understand this, we're going to take 2 flights, which is EasyJet and British Airways. So for EasyJet, what sort of a carrier is it? Is it a premium carrier or a low-cost carrier? EasyJet, as compared to British Airways.
EasyJet's cheap,
isn't it? So it is a low-cost carrier, right? And what do you think the PED will be if the price on this increases? Not very large, but
if it increases, less people would go on it.
Why? Do they have substitutes?
They have and also like they have a perception of the EasyJet as being cheap. If it's not cheap anymore, then what's the point?
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. If it's the price increase is not substantially large.
Oh, so if it just increases by a little bit, then people will still go on it because it'd be cheaper than other ones.
Yeah, and they don't have any close substitutes, isn't it? So it is a low-cost carrier with a PED of less than 1. On the other hand, with British Airways, is it a low-cost air flight or is it considered a premium carrier?
Low cost. British Airways, though, that is more expensive.
That is more expensive. It's considered as a premium carrier.
Yes.
Right? And the PED is greater than 1. Okay. Now, what we'll do is we'll consider how EasyJet and British Airways can make use of their respective PEDs to set their prices. I'm going to use a spreadsheet to demonstrate this, right? Okay. So what we'll do is we'll say price, quantity of goods sold, and total revenue. And let me zoom it up so it becomes easily legible. Okay, and let's say this one is for EasyJet, and this is for British Airways. And let me put another column in between. Legible, let me just put some lines on it. Right. Let's say EasyJet, as we said, has inelastic demand. PD is less than 1. And for this example, we'll say the PD is 0.6. Okay. And British Airways is a premium carrier and has a PD greater than 1. And let's say its PD is 2. So we'll put that on our spreadsheet. So for EasyJet, PD equals to 0.6. Okay, and what we'll do is we'll say it right, and let's merge that as well. PD for British Airways equals 2, which is greater than 1. Okay.
Okay.
Now, let's say for EasyJet, the price of a normal ticket to, let's say, from Heathrow, London Heathrow to Paris Charles de Gaulle is £50, including airport tax, all other expenses. So, right?
Okay.
And we'll have this as pounds as well. Over here, and let's put that over here. Now, at £50, let's say the quantity sold by EasyJet, number of seats, okay, are 1,000 seats in a week, right? So what would be the total revenue?
1,000 seats.
Yep, for £50 each.
50,000.
Well done. Or 50 times 1,000. 50,000.
Okay.
British Airways, on the same line, charges, let's say, £80 and does 500 seats. Okay. And makes a revenue of 80 times 500, which is £40,000.
Okay.
Okay. Now, in the first scenario, both airlines are going to have an increase of price 10%. Okay. So we're talking about increase in price of 10%.
But EasyJet makes more money because of the price.
No, yeah, because it's selling more quantity and less people are, different segment of customers who prefer cheap fare as compared to British Airways. But what I would say over here is I've just put this as an example. Let's not go into it. Maybe British Airways might be 600-700 customers. And to be honest with you, £50 and £80 isn't that substantial a difference either, is it?
No.
But having said that,
it can make a bigger difference.
Now, when the price has increased by 10% for EasyJet from 50, what would be the new price?
If it increased by 10%.
Yes.
So the new price would be £55.
£55, yeah. Now the quantity, is it going to increase or is it going to fall?
It would, if it increased to £55, in theory, it would fall.
It will fall, isn't it?
By 10%.
And not by 10%. It
Good.
will fall because your PD is 0.6. Okay. Now let's do this. So if EasyJet has increased the price by 10%, which is £5, the quantity demanded will fall. We know that when the price goes up, QD falls. But should it be more than 10% or should it be less than 10%? It's an inelastic curve, isn't it?
It should be less.
Less than 10%.
Less than-
And to calculate that, what we do is we say it'll be 6%, isn't it?
Yeah.
Are you getting this? Or
No. Yeah. It'll be.
because what we've said is when EasyJet increases price by 10% to £55, the quantity demanded is going to fall because the price is going up. But how much is it going to fall by? Is it going to fall by 10% or less than 10%?
Less than 10%.
Less than 10%. And to calculate that, what we do is we say 10 times 0.6. So it's going to fall by
6%. Yeah.
6%. So from 1,000, what is 6% of 1,000?
6% of 1,060.
Well done, 60, isn't it? So it's going to fall down from 1,000 minus 60 to 940.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll repeat myself again. Equals 0.6 times 10, we get 6. And to calculate 6% of 1,000, we say 1,000 times 6%, which is 60. And 60 less 1,000, it will be 940. So to calculate the new revenue, we say 55 times 940, 51,700. Let me insert another column and put this down as change in revenue. Yeah. And just minimize it so it fits over there. Or actually, I can just fit that over there. Right. So the change in revenue is equal to 51,700 minus 50 grand. So EasyJet is actually better off by £1,700 by increasing the price by 10%. On the other hand, when British Airways increased the price by 10%, what would be the new price? From £80 it will be?
£80 it would be.
What's 10% of £80?
It is 8.
Well done. So the new price will be £88.
Yes.
Right. Now, the quantity demanded, is it going to increase or is it going to fall, first of all, when the price has gone up?
It will fall.
It will fall. How much will it fall by? Will it fall by more than 10% or less than 10%?
More.
Fantastic. Well done. Yes. And it'll be 10% times 2, twice. So it's going to fall by how much percentage? 10 times 2, 20%. What is 20% of 500? To calculate that, 500 times 20%, which is 100. So what is the new quantity demanded?
Quantity demand is 400.
Well done, which is 500 less 100. 400. And the total revenue would be the new price times the total number of seats sold, which is 35,200. So what we do is we copy the change in revenue over here as well. Let's just increase it. Okay, so now British Airways, have they gained or lost the revenue?
They have lost revenue.
They have lost revenue. And wait, they have lost revenue 35,200 minus the old revenue, which is
4,800.
they've actually lost 4,800 and they've gained. Now what we do is we create another scenario. We say the price will decrease by 10%. And you can play by the percentages. You can put any percentage you want to. Okay? It'll have a similar outcome and I'll explain that further on, but let's do this. So what we've done is we've decreased the price now by 10%. So the original price was £50. The original price was £50. And this time it's going down by
10%.
by 10%. So what is 10% of 50 quid?
10% of 50 quid is 5.
5. And what would the new price be then?
It'll be £45.
£45. 50 less 5, £45, yeah? And because the price has gone down, is the quantity going to increase or decrease?
It's going to increase.
It's going to increase. By how much? 10%? Less than 10% or more than 10%?
It'll increase by so like because it's 0.6, it would be around about 60. No, not 60, but like 6%.
What's 6%? So less than 10%, isn't it? Which is 6% again. And the increase in seats would be 60. Yeah. So it's going to be 1060.
Yes.
Okay. And let's see how much income they've made. Total revenue 45 times 1060, 47,700. So have they made more than 50,000 or less than 50,000?
Made less.
Made less than 50,000. Let's check by how much. 47,700 and 50 grand. So they've actually lost 2,300 by reducing their fare. On the other hand, let's have a look at British Airways. They've decreased by 10%. The old fare was £80. What is 10% of 80 quid?
10% of 80 quid is £8.
£8. And what would be the new price then?
88. No,
80 less?
80 less, so it'll be
£8, yeah?
72.
£72. Well done. Okay. Now, when they have decreased the price by 10%, which is to £72, the number of seats from 500, is it going to increase or decrease?
It's going to decrease. No, increase.
Increase. Well done. And by the reduction in price was 10%. The quantity, will it increase more than 10% or less than 10%?
I would increase by more than 10%.
And how much would that be? 20%, isn't it? 10 times 2, 20%. What is 20% of 500?
It's going to be 100.
100.
So 600.
600. So let us check the new revenue. 72 times 600, 43,200. So let us see if they have gained or if they have lost. They're actually in surplus of 3,200 pounds. Yeah. So what does that mean? Firms like EasyJet that has inelastic demand curve, should they increase price or decrease price?
They should just keep decrease price.
If you're decreasing, you're actually losing.
Increase, but like not by a lot.
So no, yeah, we'll discuss that in a further on. But right now, the conclusion from this is firms with inelastic demand curve is better off increasing price for TR to increase. Wrap text, and what we'll do is, yep. On the other hand, firms with elastic curve like British Airways, should they increase price or decrease price to increase their revenue?
They should decrease the price.
So firms with elastic curve are better off decreasing their price to increase total revenue. Let me copy paste this to our PowerPoint. Let me remove the grid lines. Are we happy with this so far? Are you happy with this so far?
Mm-hmm.
Now, there are certain limitations to this approach of increasing and decreasing prices. First of all, if EasyJet increases their price, now over here it's £50 and then the premium airline is £80. But if EasyJet decides to increase the fare from £50 to £70, what do you think people will do?
They would be like, no, I don't want to go there. Like, it's too much money, and plus, like, for £10 more, I could just easily go to
British Airways, isn't it? So substitutes. If they decide to increase their fare by too much, then people, or let's say customers, will decide to switch to British Airways when they feel the difference is not too great in terms of value for money. So they'll say, I'm better off traveling British Airways. Okay, so I'll pay that £10 extra. If EasyJet is going to charge me £70 and British Airways is only charging me £10. And another limitation, let me correct the spelling first, it's not too great in terms. Another limitation in terms of PED is there are other factors that the firms need to take into account. The state of the economy. Okay? If British Airways decides, to reduce their prices, but the economy is doing extremely well, and people can actually afford more, so are they actually cashing on it, or they're losing out on the money?
They're losing out on the money,
isn't it? So
like external factors, the external environment, so competitors, population growth and everything.
Yeah, British Airways. And there are many more factors that you can, study about this. And you can actually, if you watch my next video, it is about those factors that actually affect the PED. If you've enjoyed this video and you want to subscribe to my channel, I've put down the link, or you can search YouTube Tutor Economics on your search engine and go and subscribe. And please click the like button if you've enjoyed the video. Thank you.